Chase Folsom, Frontstretch.com. Mini, you've had an awesome start to the year in the car store. You've already matched your top 10 total from last year. And if not for a dust-up at Orange County, you very well could be the points leader. So what has changed for you and your team that you were missing the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot had to do with just, we had a lot of bad luck and things that were really out of our control that happened the past couple of years. And we had a really good kind of end of the season in 21 and was able to win a race and run up in the front. And I knew we were capable of doing that. And we found a lot of things, worked really hard in the shop. Like last year, we were battling a problem that we found, and I think it was a problem for a couple races. Was the fuel safety shutoff valve was restricting the fuel flow to the car. Just stuff like that adds up. And I mean, in this series, those little tiny things they add up, and they add up really fast. When you're out there battling for hundredths of a second, I mean, you can't have any of that stuff wrong. So, but no, I mean, I'm super proud of my team and Brandon Butler and all the guys that are behind it that make the wheels turn on this car. And they all work so hard at the shop. And I'm not there full time because I'm 2 hours away and at work with our family businesses throughout the week. But when I am there, there's definitely no effort that's being dragged off a cliff. So they work their hearts out, and we've had a great year so far. And I think the tires definitely suit to my driving style a little better than the 45s did, just based on kind of the fall off pattern. And I've always said, like, you run these tires 45 laps and you put a heat cycle on them and they throw the competition yellow, and it's almost, to me, it seems like they just harden up after that point once they've got heat in them and they cool back down and you go back out there, and it seems like they're that way the whole time. And Orange County, I went out in qualifying, and like I knew instantly, I was like, okay, we're really free. We were tight all weekend and we freed it up. We threw kind of a bunch of stuff at it for qualifying. We ended up qualifying really well, but I knew at that point in time, I was like, okay, well, sure, it drove really good in qualifying, but we are a little free. And I was pretty worried about it going into the race because, you got a free race car, it's definitely not going to be a good thing come towards the end of the race. But it seemed like it just stayed that way the whole time. And I thought we probably would have been able to run, third to seventh place there at Orange County if that not had happened.
Obviously, the whole track here has been resurfaced, like you said, from the last 2 years. So with the tire fall-off game not as big of a factor as it has been in years past, how does the strategy differ going into tonight's race?
Yeah, I think a big part of it, unfortunately, I hate stuff like this, but qualifying, I think, is going to be big. I don't know that the cars, you could have a great car and be starting 10th, 12th place, but I feel like you have to be exceptionally better than the cars in front of you to really be able to kind of roll around them. Because, I don't know, like qualifying, I think is just going to be huge just based on how much it falls off and how everybody equally falls off with how, much slower we go around this place. But, I don't know, like I said, I think qualifying is a big part of it, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's going to be much riding. Like Ace, 2 weeks ago or whatever was 125 qualifying laps, so there was no break in going there. So, I don't know. I think the strategy that I've kind of approached every race this year is kind of just figure it out when you're in the seat and you're in what happens. So, I've kind of gotten away from the thinking about it or planning what I'm going to do before I get in the car. I kind of just let the green flag drop and kind of let the cards fall where they fall. And, it worked out at Hickory. We didn't start great, and we got penalized for the choose cone rule, and which was my bad, and got sent to the back, and we ended up just riding around because that is a place you can save some tires because it's so worn out, and we were able to make a march from the back to fifth. So, but at a place like this, when you got that many cars, I don't know that there's going to be much, riding or trying to bide your time by falling back. As we saw, like at New River this year, Brendan qualified on the pole, and he kind of fell back and rode, and I didn't really fall back much. We were riding, but I think we were all kind of equally riding the same. And when he went to get to the front, I knew I was better than him, but he got the lead from me, and we had kind of tagged each other and just racing hard. But I think that if he had not dropped back like he did, I think he probably would have been better than I was at that point.
Minnie, you mentioned earlier the difference today on track and practice versus the test a couple weeks ago. How much do you think that's related to the weather in the area? And with the weather in the area, how do you expect the track to progress tonight through 125 laps?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we were here on the test. I think it was 70-ish degrees, sunny, which we kind of got somewhat of that in practice. The sun did come out, just not as hot as it was. Which, it's kind of weird. Typically at places when it gets hotter, it frees the track up, and today I feel like the track's colder with all the rain, but it made it freer. So, I don't know. It's honestly, I think a lot of people here, like a lot of cars weren't at the test, and they're having to adjust and adapt to what it's going to do because they've only got the 45 minutes and they're qualifying. So, it's definitely going to be a game of a gamble with how this is going to go. And to be honest, I can't answer. I have no idea what it's going to do tonight. It could go one of two ways, but I just hope we don't get any freer than we are.
What up? It's Brad Perez. Click subscribe and watch one of the 2 videos right beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.